If you own a hair salon and you're there for 12 hours a day, you're on your job. But if you can take yourself out of it, but still generate income because you've created the environment, standard operating procedures that all the different hairstylists are following, then you really put yourself in an advantageous position to own a business.
You're not just a hair professional, you're a CEO.
Hey guys, it's Jen here with the Hair CEO, helping you build a premium brand focused on profits without overpaying in taxes. On this channel, I bring you videos on business and taxes tailored specifically to self-employed hair professionals and beauty business owners. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today, I'm here with Ken Frasier from Frasier Executive Holdings. And today, we're just going to talk about real estate and just business as a whole.
Absolutely. Now, commercial real estate to me is super important, right? Because commercial real estate is the vehicle that allows us to participate in free enterprise. As any type of professional, you want to have equity. And the easiest way to have equity is to invest in the place where you're going to conduct business. It's one thing for a hair professional to rent a chair. It's another thing for a hair professional to have a location that will allow you to take a step back from your hard work and your schedule and really invest in building other people. You have to think, as a hair professional, you're just one person. How many clients can you see a day?
Right.
But if you invest in a location, even if it's just for lease, even if you're just leasing the place,
Exactly.
you can find yourself in a position where you may have 8 people doing what you can do in one day. And at a 10-20% profit margin, you can find your sustainability in creating opportunities for other people. But I do understand that in the hair community, there's a big emphasis on, well, I've been with her for 12 years. This is, she does my lace front better than any, person would ever do a lace front.
Or barbers,
Yeah.
people are loyal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not, maybe not me. It doesn't take a lot to do mine, but I do understand the loyalty that comes along with hair. And you have to find a happy medium where you can cater to your customer base, but also allow for growth and expansion from your team.
Yeah, that's really hard for some people because not only just the clients have that loyalty, but the hair professional.
I'm always encouraging people to own your business and not your job.
So let's talk about that for a second because I heard you say that before, own your business and not your job. So can you tell me what it means to own your job and then what it means to own your business?
Well, one of the problems that we have in minority communities is the ability to scale our business and to grow our business, start franchises and put our businesses in multiple locations. And I was just always taught that I should own a business and not a job. Your job is predicated on you being present. So if you, own a hair salon, you're the #1, hairstyler there, and you're there for 12 hours a day, that's your job. You're on your job. But if you can take yourself out of it, but still generate income because you've created the environment, you've created the culture, you've created the standard operating procedures that all the different hairstylists are following, then you really put yourself in an advantageous position to own a business. Because the difference between a job and a business is you. Can I duplicate this and start it somewhere else? Do I have to be here?
Right.
By taking all of the core competencies that you have, the culture that you've built, all of the experience that you've gained over the years, and create opportunities for young people. When you look at any industry, let's look at sports for instance. The guys that own the basketball teams aren't playing basketball.
You're right.
The guy that owns McDonald's isn't, even a local franchise, isn't flipping burgers.
And that's not to say they didn't start out that way.
I'm sure they all started out that way.
Right.
But you want to continue to rise and continue to elevate to find yourself in a business capacity. Because once you can not be there, then you can go and get investment to scale and grow your business. But it's hard to grow when you are the business.
Absolutely.
Because you can't really focus on those nuances that it takes to grow the business, like business development. We met here today at a business development conference.
Yep.
If you had 6 clients tonight, it would have been hard for you to be here.
I wouldn't have been able to be here.
Right. So without rambling on too much, just encourage people to make the type of investments that can help you enable other people to be great. Because no story is told without a great team. So you want to build your team and then enable your team to be great.
What is a way that someone could advertise and differentiate themselves from someone else?
Well, any equity. It's all about equity. If you want to differentiate yourself from the competition and give people ownership in whatever they do. I'll give you an example. If you're doing walk-ins and somebody comes in as a walk-in and you assign them to a person, have a system that delegates that person to that hairstylist in perpetuity.
That's scary for a lot of people because a lot of salon or barbershop owners feel like the people who walk in are theirs. It's like, I own that person. But I think you're right.
It's the same in personal training. You know, if somebody comes into a gym and really falls in love with the person that they're working out with, the gym, like, oh, that's our customer, not yours. But what I found in business as an entrepreneur over the years is that those clients will see that barber at their house.
Okay.
You know, so it's better if you allow that equity infrastructure in your facility. And then you can create the standard operating procedures that allow you to monitor that interaction and that relationship. So I would never stray away from it because your employees, your 1099, whoever's in there doing hair, they deserve the best. So don't just always feel like, you know, you have to keep customers from them. Help them grow. Yeah. Because you want them to get to a place to where they're the stars in your facility.
Exactly.
And people are showing up to see them, and that's how you grow. The Chicago Bulls, they didn't grow because the owner was good at basketball. They grew because of Michael Jordan.
So, but here's the thing. The difference is that when someone gets so big and they're the star at your barbershop, then it's like that person leaves.
But what you've created is an infrastructure to funnel new stars through. There's going to be times when the best football player on the team signs a bigger contract with a bigger team. But people know that you win championships, so they're going to seek you out.
I love that. I love that. I think that is the key because if it's a shift in mindset, right? So don't focus on, oh man, this person is really good and they started here, but they could potentially take all of my clients.
Well, you know, I mean, you can't control that,
of
right?
course.
That's something that's out of your control. But if you're building trust, if you're building rapport, if you're giving equity, a lot of these solopreneurs don't want the rigmarole of running a business.
Yeah, so because they don't know. Because then they come to me and they're just like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to pay taxes?
Right. So they have all of these things to deal with. Now they have to get chairs, supplies, locations, pay taxes, have all these things in place, insurance. It might be a lot easier to just be a star somewhere, you know, than I remember when Michael Jordan went to the Wizards. Well, he wasn't that good, you know, so it may, you know, because the infrastructure wasn't there. Infrastructure plays a big role in the success of any business. You know, don't just allow a person to just walk in time after time. Because sometimes I do it as a bald guy.
Okay.
I like to go to the Latino hair salons because they have razors, good razor shave. They take care of me a little bit better than maybe some of the. I'm sorry, you make it take this part out.
No, don't take it out because I've heard that before.
But it's the truth. The Latino barbers go way harder. But what I'll say is, it's not a lot of loyalty there. You know, I can walk into the Latino barbershop and get a new barber every time because I'm only getting a baldy. But what I think would help that situation if there was an infrastructure in place, some type of QR code that would allow a person to have more equity in the clientele base. You know, so have a system where maybe there's a registration process for walk-ins, so where a walk-in has to come and put in their email address, phone number, name. You know, to be able to get the walk-in appointment, you have to give us.
So that's interesting because as a professional, over and over again, we're like, oh, clients won't like that. But you're someone who, you're saying if that was in place, you would be okay with that process?
Absolutely. And also because, you know, I want, you know, we don't want a whole bunch of spam emails, but I do want to know, oh, man, I have an extra spot on Friday that's wide open. I do want that text. I do want a reward system. If there's, you know, get 5 haircuts and get your 6th one half off, or get your 6th one for free. So by putting your information in the database, it allows you to benefit from all the auxiliary opportunities that are available. So if you're creating a reward system, let's say if you do sign up, let's say you're a walk-in, but you go through the registration process, well, maybe by having access to this portal, you may give, you know, priority bookings. Yeah. You know, you may not have to wait in line. So just, it's up to the entrepreneur to be creative and create the things that would allow you to build rapport with your customer base, but also feel like, you know, a new person has some type of equity in the new customer base that's walking in. And one of the best ways to do that is just by having a system that will allow them to communicate with the customer after they leave. So trust the people that you work with. That was one of the biggest challenges for me over the years as an entrepreneur, is developing the trust. I own a commercial cleaning company, and when I first started subcontracting big jobs to smaller companies like my buddy CJ's company, it was hard for me, you know, to trust somebody with that, you know, to represent my brand. That's and right. To go out and to get the job done like I would find myself still showing up to these job sites, you know, after they had left, and just, you know, wipe the stuff down and just doing all of the finishing touches. And there is no easy answer for that. Yeah. But if you want to get to a place, you know, where you can delegate at a high level, invest in quality people. You may have to pay them a little bit more, but you want to focus on people that can grow your business, that you trust. Yeah. And so, and if you build that trust level, you know, you may have an ally for life with it.
I love it. I love it. Any last words?
I would just say, never be scared to invest in people. Before you go out and get some new clippers and a new chair, get a new person.